I don't think
There's more.
I think I've seen Spectre once. I've seen all the Daniel Craig ones one time. But it used to be like it was always a Bond marathon on some random day in the year. We'd sit down and we'd watch all of them. And you're never paying that much attention. So my expectations for Bond movies are really low. Because a lot of them, especially like the Lazenby, Timothy Dalton, still love Timothy Dalton, but those movies are not very good. And it's like, so some of the Bond movies are bad. And so everything you said is absolutely correct. But I was like, yes, it was a Bond movie. Yes, story makes no fucking sense. The bad guy will show up out of nowhere. He doesn't have enough to do. They drag on in the middle of the movie for no reason.
Only the ending is insulting.
Oh yeah, and then it starts off strong with a car sequence. But the issue is, I think, we've seen that car sequence so many times in the last 2 years in the commercial. Almost the entire thing.
One enemy remaining.
That this movie didn't have much. Now I think I liked it a little bit better than you because again, my expectations are way lower. I think.
Yeah.
But
so I counted the action scenes. Let me know if you guys agree if there was more. You got the trailer stuff that we saw, right? You know, the car and the chase, the car getting shot up. Pretty cool. Then we got the club, you know, fight at the club.
I want to see more of her.
And then you got, hold on, we'll talk about it in a second. And then you got this stairwell fight, you know, towards the end. The stairwell fight. And which was really good, but then the final fight. I can't really think of anything. Oh, boat scene, right. So basically 5 little action things, not enough, especially not if you're going to choose this direction with the James Bond character and this way to conclude it. It was just a little unsatisfying in that regard. Okay, so let's get to the supporting characters, right? So James Bond obviously has a love interest in this film, carrying over from the last film. I don't feel any chemistry. I don't feel like this is the one for Bond. You know what I mean? The girl that he's just gonna.
Just because you didn't like her, he was in love with her. Right?
Yeah, I know, but on screen, I just did not feel like the chemistry was there, and then this particular one is the one for James Bond. I mean, the ladies' man, come on. At least Sean Connery's version was the ladies' man.
One enemy remaining.
Obviously, you know, is a little different and.
Not as age appropriate, or maybe it was, but there's scenes where they're standing at each other. It's like
spike planted.
Dad, this is a little weird, but all right.
I guess so. Sure. Yeah, I mean, he is a sexy man.
Well, yeah, they even make a joke about it because they pick him up. He's like, "Oh, what do you do?" He's like, "I go diving. I like to get old relics."
Yeah, I'm an old.
Then you're in luck.
I'm old Rick.
And so essentially we have, you know, obviously Bond has kind of retired from the 00 program.
We good.
Right.
We good.
And in this one. And in this film he's working with the CIA in order to you know, move the plot forward and figure out the big world-ending event that Bond has to conquer, which ties very closely into his girlfriend and his girlfriend's history and her past. And none of this fucking movie would have happened if she would have just been honest with him and told him up front. Yeah, and M as well. M, the new M taken over from the old M. So yeah, really, I think it was a little bit of a dud in the sense. Not a dud in terms of action, in terms of another Bond film. It's a Bond film. It's big budget. It's Daniel Craig. So there is, you know, a, what do you call it? Those elevate the film, right? And Daniel does a great job as Bond. And I just didn't like the story. I didn't like the chemistry. I didn't like what they were doing. You've seen it in the trailers. We have a new 007 who really just feels like a prop in order to, you know, poke, you know, Daniel Craig 007 thing. She is the new 007. And I'm thinking to myself, there's no fucking way. I mean, they're just doing that to be like, hey, you can have an African-American and a female, and does that shock you? Hey, look, it's the 00 and British, they're all British. But, you know, does that shock you? And it's like, but she, I mean.
One enemy remaining.
It's like, really, would the agency that has relied on 007 so much, there's so much tradition and pageantry within the organization, that they would just give his number to somebody else, or would they retire it? Because he's like, well,
retire it. Because what are you gonna do? So now you're gonna be down to like limited numbers.
999.
No, it has to be
double.
0069.
152.
I get it. I
This is
get it.
like 00.
Yeah, well-
.7. An asterisk 7. It just it just fits.
Okay, well, you found the one loophole, Joe. I will allow it. All right, fine. If they're like, shit, we already have 8 other agents. Okay, we
Kill
gotta
someone.
give you. We
Yeah,
gotta
you
give
gotta kill
that.
someone.
Fine. Whatever, but I felt she was a prop. Didn't really contribute much to the story. And ultimately, though, it concludes in a satisfying way in that regard, and we can talk about that.
Speaking of props, I thought Anna de Armas was more of a prop. I think she was kicking ass. Chicken
Oh,
She
yeah,
was kicking ass.
great.
Like she was fucking
More of
holding her
that.
own. Yeah, do something like that. They're like, okay, I did my mission. I'll never see you again.
Yeah, you never
and
see
then
her
that's
again.
it. And then
And-
kind of with the same,
Right.
the new 007. She's like, okay, I do some stuff, and then I'll go back in the shadows. So give him something more to do if you're gonna introduce him or something.
All that's when the film was firing on all cylinders.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the issue is you have 2.5 hour long
Spike
movie.
down, B.
You didn't do anything with these side characters, and that's why it kind of felt like a slog in the middle. It's like the Q. I've always loved
One enemy
Q in these
remaining.
movies, and then I focus on the gadgets and weird things, and of course they're setting up an impossible situation that he had just designed the gadget for. And I don't think it did anything with Q here. And M was
And his gadget was like,
I don't know. It's gonna take some time. I did it.
Oh, yeah.
I did it.
And so, like, Moneypenny's in this, and Moneypenny's just there to be,
Moneypenny.
commit treason over and over, I guess. 'Cause, everyone in this movie is committing treason.
Yeah.
And so the story is, completely stupid.
Anyone
But
needs something.
I understand it,
But,
but, I was there for
but
some
it's not
action,
stupid
though.
fun for me. I like the Bond films because they're stupid fun. This one was stupid. Oh, come on.
This was more
Pissed me
serious.
off. And more serious. And just
Let me
say,
show you how
some
the
people
boss
might
does it.
find a satisfying conclusion to the Daniel Craig and doing honor to him. I disagree completely. So. Okay, let's go to final verdict. Make it short. Let me say that look, we love James Bond here, and so I'm gonna tell you see the film so that you have a complete, thing. But if you were like, just go see it right now, I'm like, nah, man, nah, just catch it whenever.
Yeah.
I can't make a recommendation to go to the theater. Or just wait till it's time.
I'm gonna give this a 5. This is an average film. Yeah, I did the best they can with whatever.
Spike down. Defender spawn.
Kill my allies.
Damn,
No,
Joe, your
hold on.
ratings have been
One enemy
rough as
remaining.
hell
Well,
lately.
because it started off
You're
pretty
a real
cool,
critic
and then I was
now.
like, all right, I'm like fucking bored. I'm like, see what happens. Yeah, but I did like the action scenes. The subplots kind of led nowhere, especially with Logan Ash.
Anyone need something?
I don't know if you
Yeah,
remember
yeah.
that guy,
I know.
that smiling guy.
Isn't he a wrestler, or am I thinking of somebody
No,
else?
isn't he the
I don't know,
Anyone
but
need
yeah,
something?
he was I think he did a great job with his smarminess.
Yeah, being in the
he was
movie
just
for
there
5
for like
minutes.
5
yeah.
minutes.
It
and I was
reminds
like,
me of,
okay, well,
the
that went
Plan, what's the
nowhere.
guy's name? I don't know.
Already got some. Anyways, I'll talk about that in spoilers. But yeah, 5 for me. Cool action scenes. These casted as well as they could. But overall,
So you were like me, you were disappointed in the
Spike
yeah,
down
it
A.
was more action.
Yeah, I wasn't super disappointed in the story. I think it was standard, average James Bond, really dumb. Like these are 99-cent spy novel stories that they bloated into 2.5 hours, and that's where my problem with this movie is. It's too damn long
Yes.
for what we got. Right? If it's this long, and then they really delve into there, and they've got a really cool story that we're kind of weaving in and out of, and all the great supporting characters, then I'm on board. But I don't think they did that, and so there was times where I'm like, you need to wrap this up. I think that they
Wrap it up, B.
yeah, and they needed to kind of like
One
increase the
enemy
amount of
remaining.
action scenes in there, do some other things with. I mean, there's a lot of good things in here, but the execution just felt really off.
Yeah.
I do think it's above average. I mean, we've seen some shit lately, so I'm probably gonna go with a 6 out of 10. I think it's an above average watch. I wouldn't be telling people to rush out and go watch it, but better than some of the other stuff.
Defenders win.